Chapter 9: Movement and Locomotion. We will learn movement in human beings, movement in animals. Try to answer. In which direction can you move your arms? All organisms are capable of various movements, but unlike animals and human beings, plants are unable to move physically from place to place on their own, and, therefore, they cannot move. Plants show some kinds of movements such as the opening of leaves and buds. Different animals show different kinds of movements like flying, jumping, running, walking and creeping, depending on the structure of their bodies. When movement results in change of position of the whole organism, it is called locomotion. In the case of human beings and animals, body movements play an important role in multiple processes required to sustain life, from the simplest voluntary actions of eating and drinking to the more complex involuntary actions such as blood circulation via heart muscles. Involuntary movements are those that occur constantly within our body without our awareness, such as breathing, blinking our eyes, and blood circulation. Movement in human beings. Human beings exhibit locomotion, and it is brought about by a combination of muscular and skeletal system. The framework of bones and cartilage which gives shape and support to the body is called the skeleton. The human skeleton is made up of 206 bones. The bone is a type of fibrous connective tissue made up of bone cells and minerals such as calcium. The outer layer of the bone is very hard. Bones provide support to the structures in the body. Besides bones, there are 3 types of connective tissues in the skeletal system. These are tendons, ligaments, and cartilage. The tendon attaches muscles to the bones. Ligaments are strong and elastic bands of tissue that join bones together. Cartilage is a connective tissue found in many areas of the body, including joints between bones, examples the elbows, knees and ankles, between the vertebrae in the spine, and in some elastic organs like earlobe and nose. It is like a cushion which acts as shock absorber and reduces friction between a joint. It is softer and much more flexible than bone. Functions of the skeleton. The various functions of the skeletal system as a whole include the following. Body support. The skeleton keeps the body upright and provides a framework for the human body. Protection. The skeleton protects certain soft organs within the human body. For example, the skull protects the brain and the rib cage protects the heart and lungs. Movement. It helps in the movement of various body parts. Formation of blood cells. There is a soft and spongy substance found inside the bones called bone marrow. Blood cells are manufactured in the bone marrow. Storage of minerals. Bone tissues store several minerals, including calcium, Ca, and phosphorus, P. When required, the bone releases minerals into the blood, facilitating the balance of minerals in the body. Parts of the skeleton. The skeleton comprises 4 main parts: the skull, the backbone or spine, the rib cage, and the limbs. The skull. The skull is the part of the skeleton that forms the bony framework of the head. It is formed by 22 bones, out of which 8 bones are fixed together to form the cranium and 14 bones fuse to form the bones of the face. The bones of the superior portion of the skull are known as the cranium. It protects the brain from any physical shock or injury, since brain is an extremely vital organ of our body. The skull consists of 14 facial bones. These bones are interlocked into each other to give a specific shape to the face. The largest of the facial bones is the lower jawbone. It is the only movable bone in the skull which helps us to chew our food. These facial bones protect the vital sense organs of the body, example eyes, nose and mouth. The vertebral column. The vertebral column is the central part of the skeletal system. It is also called spine or backbone. It is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae, singular, vertebra, placed one above the other. These vertebrae are joined to each other. It is because of these joints that we are able to bend and twist our back. It runs from the base of the skull to the hip bone, forming a hollow tube. The spinal cord, which is a bundle of nerves connected to the brain, passes through this hollow tube. The backbone protects the spinal cord from damage. The spinal cord is a very delicate and important structure of our body. The rib cage. The rib cage forms the upper front part of the chest. It consists of 12 pairs of ribs, that is a total of 24 bones, forming a cage-like structure that protects the heart and lungs. The ribs are flat, thin and curved bones that are attached to vertebral column at the back and the central flat breastbone called sternum in the front. The last two pairs of ribs are not attached to the sternum in the front and hence are called the floating ribs. The limbs. Limbs allow us to perform various types of movements. We have two pairs of limbs, the forelimbs, arms, and hind limbs, legs. Nearly half of our bones are found in our limbs. The hind limbs are used for walking and running. The forelimbs are used to do a variety of tasks such as lifting, swimming, digging, etc. The arms. Each arm is made up of 3 long bones and a number of small bones. The upper arm has one long bone called the humerus. The lower arm has 2 long bones called radius and ulna, which are connected to the humerus at the elbow. The humerus is attached to the vertebral column through the collarbone and the shoulder blade. The wrist, palm and the fingers are made of small bones, which make it possible to move the hand. The legs. The legs are similar to the arms. The longest bone in our body is the thigh bone or the femur. The lower leg consists of 2 bones, the tibia and fibula, which are connected to the femur at the knee. The knee joint is covered by a cap-like structure called a kneecap. The ankle, foot and the toes consist of a large number of small bones. The shoulder girdle and the pelvic girdle. The shoulder girdle, also called the shoulder bone, is formed by collarbone at the front and the shoulder blade at the back. The bones of the arm are supported by the shoulder girdle. The pelvic girdle is also called the hip bone. It is made up of strong bones to balance the entire weight of the body. The bones of the legs are supported by the pelvic girdle. Joints and their types. The joints in our body are the places where 2 bones join together. These joints are strong enough to withstand any kind of jerks. The bones are held in position at the joints because these are connected to each other by strong fibrous tissue called ligaments. At the place of the joint, the ends of the 2 bones are covered with soft cartilage. It acts as a shock absorber and reduces friction between the bones when they move. Joints are responsible for the movement, example the movement of limbs, and stability, example the stability found in the bones of the skull, of the skeleton. Based upon the type of movement, there are 3 main types of joints in the human body. They include fixed or removable joints, slightly movable joints, and freely movable joints. Fixed or removable joints. These types of joints do not allow any type of movement, but they offer protection for the structure in which they are present. There are several examples of these joints in the human body, including joints between the bones of the skull, joints in the pelvis, and joints between the teeth and lower jaw or upper jaw. Partially movable joints. These types of joints allow partial movement. For example, joint between vertebrae in the spine. Freely movable joints. These types of joints allow varying movements in different parts of the body. These joints are of 4 types. Ball and socket joint. The joint which is formed by two bones in which one end of a bone is rounded and ball-like which fits perfectly into a cup-like cavity, socket, of the other bone. This kind of joint is called the ball and socket joint. This type of joint allows movement in almost all directions. The shoulder joints and hip joints are the ball and socket joints. Pivot joint. The joint which is formed by two bones in which rounded surface of one bone fits into a ring-like structure formed by the other, such that one bone is able to rotate over the pivot-like end of the other bone. This kind of joint is called the pivot joint. The joint which joins the neck to the head is the pivot joint. Hinge joint. The joint which provides back and forth movement similar to that of a hinge in the door is called the hinge joint. It allows movement in one direction. The elbow joint and the knee joint are hinge joints. Gliding joint. The joint which allows bones to glide over each other and provide little movement in all directions is called the gliding joint. The joints present at the ankles, wrist and between vertebrae are the gliding joints. Movements of bones. Bones cannot move by themselves. Joints along with muscles can bring about movement in bones by contraction and relaxation. On contraction, the muscle becomes shorter and comes back to the normal size when relaxes. Muscles are attached to the bones by strong, flexible bands of tissue called the tendons. One end of the muscle is attached to a movable bone, whereas the other end of the muscle is attached to a fixed bone. Muscles work in pairs and can only pull the bone. They cannot push the bone. The paired muscles such as biceps and triceps work together and help in the movement of the structures like arm, leg, etc. For example, when we bend our arm, biceps contract to pull the bone up and at the same time triceps relax and lengthen. When the arm is straightened, biceps relax and lengthen while the triceps contract and shorten. X-rays. Nowadays, it is possible to see the images of the bones in human beings using X-rays. Sometimes when we get injured, doctors take an X-ray photograph of the injured part to find out if there are any internal injuries and fractures. It helps in diagnosing cavities in teeth, damage in the bones, and so on. X-rays are special rays that can pass through the skin but not through the bones because bones are dense, so they can absorb more X-rays than skin does. Therefore, shadows of the bones can be seen on the X-ray film while the skin appears transparent. Movement in animals. Animals have their own way of movement or locomotion. Locomotion is an important process for animals. Animals have to move from one place to another for many reasons. They cannot stay in one place in order to support their living. Muscles and bones help in the movement of animals. Movement of lower animals differs from that of larger ones. Let us study the movement of invertebrates such as earthworms, snails, cockroaches, and then vertebrates such as fish, snakes, and birds in detail. Do you know? Animals that have a backbone are called vertebrates. For example, fish, frog, lizard, horse, and birds. Animals that do not have a backbone are called invertebrates. For example, earthworm, snail, and cockroach. Movement in earthworms. Earthworms have an elongated and cylindrical body with no bones in it. It is divided into many ring-like segments that have muscles. The earthworms move from one place to another by the continuous contractions and relaxations of their muscles in the skin. Hence, earthworms make small moves using muscles only. The segments also have tiny, stiff, hair-like bristles called setae on the underside of its body, which help the earthworm to grip the surface and pull its body forward. To move forward, the earthworm extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear end fixed to the ground. Next, It fixes the front part and pulls the rear end forward. The movement of its body can be compared with that of a spring. Movement in snails. A snail has a slimy body without bones and is protected by its external skeleton called shell. Such a skeleton is known as an exoskeleton. This shell helps it to protect itself from the enemies and the heat of the sun. They are found in wet places. It has a pair of tentacles with eyes at the tip of its shell. Snails move using a muscular organ called the foot. This muscular foot brings about pulling action in the body by the rhythmic contractions and relaxations of the muscles. Snails secrete a slimy substance known as the mucus that enables the snail to move with ease. The secreted mucus also reduces the risk of injury from sharp objects. Movement in cockroaches. The cockroach is another invertebrate that has a body structure that facilitates walking, climbing, and flying. Their body is covered by a hard external skeleton. It is an insect with 3 pairs of jointed legs for movement and 2 pairs of wings attached to its chest. The cockroach also has a pair of sensitive antennae located at its head. These enable it to smell things in the surroundings. Cockroaches walk in a very interesting style, moving 3 legs at a time. Movement in fish. Fish is a vertebrate with vertebral column in its body. Its body is supported by internal skeleton. Such a skeleton is known as an endoskeleton. Most fishes possess a streamlined body, that is, the head and the tail are narrow, the middle portion of the body is broader. This shape offers least resistance to the flow of water, which helps them to swim in water. A fish swims primarily with the help of their fins because they help them in balancing, changing direction and moving up and down, and so on. The body of fish is covered with scales. Fish moves with the help of its tail. In order to move forward, the fish moves its tail from side to side. This zigzag movement pushes the water and propels the fish forward. The movement of fish in water is also supported by a sac-like structure called the swim bladder that can be filled with air or emptied to help them to rise or dive deep into the water. Movement in birds. Birds are arboreal in habitat. They show many types of movement like flying, walking, and hopping. Some birds like swan and duck can even swim in water. The forelimbs of birds are modified to form wings for flight. The skeletal system of the birds is well adapted for flying. Their bones are hollow, which make their body lightweight and fit for flying. They have a streamlined body which makes it easier for them to move through air. The air can easily cut through the sides of the body and offers least resistance. Birds have large, powerful chest muscles to allow them to flap their wings during the flight. Their tails control the direction of the flight. Their shoulder bones are very strong. They can walk and perch on trees with the help of their hind limbs. Movement in snakes. A snake moves very fast. It moves in S-shaped loops and in a zigzag manner. It cannot move in a straight line. The snake has a long backbone running along the length of its body. Muscles are attached to the backbone, ribs, and also to the skin. The backbone of a snake is very flexible. A snake contracts its muscles starting from its neck and thrusts its body from side to side, creating a series of curves. The snake moves in grass, sand, and water. It does not have arms or legs, but it can even climb on trees. The movement of snake is called slithering, sliding motion. Keywords. Skeleton, the framework of bones and cartilage which gives shape and support to the body. Ligament, a kind of tissue which joins 2 bones. Tendon, a kind of tissue which joins a muscle to a bone. Joint, a point where 2 bones meet. Vertebrates, animals that have backbone. Invertebrates, Animals that do not have backbone.